So hi everyone, it's Angel 111 Mima Mohammed Edie. It's been a while I've not done this, so we'll just tap a little bit. This is not an ordinary uh, new moon in Libra, and I'm a Libra, that's why I chose to do this. And there is a solar eclipse, and it's not something very ordinary. And on top of that, there is a completion. And if you look at it in the numerological side, the new moon is, and the eclipse happening at 10 degrees. That's checkmate, for better for worse. Either you're ending something permanently and a new beginning starts, or it's, as I said, checkmate and 6 feet under. And I had explained earlier, even when we did the initiation, that there is something very significant with the 18 years to come. I'll explain about that. It's just one aspect of the star. That's not the main star that we were working with, but it's a star that I will give information, you'll understand what it means and it's all about. Initially, when such celestial events happen in this, leave alone spiritual realm, astrologically, there will always be a buffer, like an aftermath. Solar eclipse effect can be felt for 3 to up to 6 months. Especially solar, it goes up to 6 months. So whatever is triggered now might not happen overnight, but the effect can be up to 6 months to come. Depending on your planetary aspect and your chart, that's it's where you're going to hit. And this solar eclipse, we call it annular solar eclipse, the main target in general and for everybody, it triggers the mental and emotional part of our anatomy, of our well-being. So you might not feel it immediately, but as I said, the effect, and as per your chart, everybody has a different chart. As per your chart, how when the degrees are meeting and instigated and triggered, that is when you're going to feel it. But for us overall, everybody will feel something. There will be that emotional part which is going to be instigated in, and our mental part as well. So mental health is very important at this time. And when it comes to such degree, in 10 degree, which is Capricorn, so you can be in a restraining type of energy, like you can't think outside the box. And if you are thinking outside the box, then it's like you are thinking, like you have very unlikely, like something with very unlikely, like you might have a solution which might sound sometimes very weird, and it can be tragic, or it can be something that will click in your mind. It's like walking the road that is taken by less people, and you might find there your destiny. So such things can happen. You need to be very grounding, very grounding. Remember, solar is the sun. It rules the entire solar system, the entire universe. So should it be eclipsed or should it be affected, every aspect in the celestial body, in the universe, gets affected. Because if the controller, for example, I'll give you an example. When you're driving a car and your gear suddenly, or the motor, because it's the heart, the whole system is controlled by the motor. If the motor starts to act weird, what happens to the rest? The whole car will feel the impact. For example, the radiator has less water or something of that sort. The engine heats up, boom. There is a wire fault somewhere, and you end up, maybe you have an inbuilt navigator and it just shuts down. You're lost somewhere. The brakes are not working, your life is in danger. Such things, like when the heart of the, even our bodies, our heart, when the heart has a problem, what happens to the entire system? Glitches. So that is what happens right now. We will see a lot of glitches happening, and the reason is because of this eclipse. When the source has been partially eclipsed or is being affected a little bit, then we will have that like buffer effect, and we will feel it either way, directly or indirectly. Even though this solar eclipse is not right actively going to be visible all over the world, the South America is the one which is going to see this. And that is where, because wherever the solar eclipse is active, that's where the whole thing comes in. The trigger will be more effective on those sides than on the other sides of the planet. So that's just a little bit of intro. What happens when, for example, Libra being the sign of justice, the seventh zodiac sign in the astral wheel, and comes into contact this, and I mean the sun, the moon comes into contact, and this celestial event is triggered, the solar eclipse. Being in the seventh sign, this is where we are going to witness so many activities. Libra is a sign of diplomacy, but it also has a lot of charm in it, and it's also a sign of partnership. So this is the time you will have to experience in terms of partnership, and I will explain also later what will trigger that in terms of partnership, because Libra is the value, the scale. It takes two to balance the equilibrium. And if this balance is not obtained, one scale is like tipped more than the rest, we cannot obtain balance. So there will be that mental conflict, emotional conflict, and even internal. The yin and yang will not be balanced. This can affect also your entire human body. The entire human body, which means if your pH is not active and in the right prescribed, like our normal pH in the body, then you will start to experience very strange, weird diseases, because the elimination, it's like the alarm is going to be ringing, ding dong, ding dong, you know, something is wrong. This is the time this eclipse, it triggers the thing. Anything which is not balanced is going to be resurfaced. Then it's your decision. You either make the right decision, failure to do so, it's get eclipsed, and that's how we end up losing. And that's the reason I'm telling you, you will have to be extremely diplomatic when tackling any type of matter, even when you're dealing with a child. Because whatever you will do to that child is going to be a reflex for the next 18 years. And I will explain why. It's because of the a star called Vindimiatrix. Vindimiatrix is a fixed star, not so much known, but it's one of the mischievous star and is extremely effective, being in the 12th house right now, because when the new moon is in Libra, for example, I'm talking about my chart, it's in the 12th house, but on the other side, it's the 6th house, Virgo, because this is the right hand. The Vindimiatrix is a fixed star, right hand of the maiden, the virgin. It's bright yellow, fixed at, I wanted to go deep and talk about that, 7 degree 9 minute in the Virgo sign, the celestial, in the zodiac sign of Virgo. So for those who are following tropical, yeah, the moon is in Libra. And those who follow the Babylonian, it's in Virgo. And that's why I have to talk about this both side. You'll see also the even a little bit of Kabbalistic side. I will talk about it. You'll see about it. You will understand how it falls, how is the effect of all this with the solar eclipse. So let's finish this, and then I will go deeper into that star, and you'll understand also why there was a hidden star I'm not supposed to mention, because I told you it's Kabbalistic and it's a secret. But you will understand the effect and the connection of Vindimiatrix plus the hidden star I'm not supposed to mention, and the cycle that brings, and what is the kickstart, what is like the reset mode, the trigger with this annular, that is the solar eclipse, how the relation works together. So let's first start and see how is this solar eclipse going to be, what is the effect. There will be a conjunction. Conjunctions are very good normally, and the sun, the moon, and the Mercury, they're all conjuncting during this solar eclipse and during this new moon. This new moon, so with this type of effect, it's a reset mode. It's good to reflect and start to filter what you don't need, just take it out. Remember, the nodes are, the south node is in Libra. And this solar eclipse is going to be visible in, for example, South America. So the southern part is very well enhanced, that this is the time you need to take out what you don't need. Take out what you don't need and follow your life purpose, follow your path, follow your calling. This is the time you will really need to ground yourself, which is difficult because the solar system, our main source that controls even the chakra, is thwarted because it's partially hidden. So you're going to find it a little bit hard to make decisions, or difficult, or so much realization. But you feel like, sorry, I wanted to say fuck. You feel like, oh shit, this is just too late. Why didn't I think about it? Why didn't I do this before? That is the negative aspect of this solar eclipse, because it will make you realize something you are supposed to make a decision maybe a long time ago, but you didn't make that decision. And the reason why you didn't do it is because there was cloud judgment. You could not see clearly. So this eclipse is going to eliminate what was hidden and bring it to the surface. And then after that, now that comes where the realization comes in, and you're going to see, oh my God. So this is how everything was unfolding. So this is what was hidden, because with solar, it's everything that has light. The moon it always gets the reflection of the light from the sun, but the sun itself is the source. So when the source tries to eliminate and is being eclipsed, it means even if, for example, there is let me give you a practical example. You're working. The boss knows you're not capable of doing something compatible for something, but what the boss will do is just shed a blind eye. It's okay. I'm going to shed a blind eye because I want to keep them around. Maybe they're charming for the business and they make me laugh, or I just like maybe her body and this and that. But the performance is not good. So this is the time the realization will come in, that it's not about what you bring on the table that is, for example, self-satisfying. It's the diplomacy in it. What is the main purpose of this person? Do they add value? So these are the things that are going to be eliminated, because that solar eclipse is the source. No more hiding. The leader is going to see where, because that dark side which they have been hiding, it's going to be hidden. It's like a little bit of power is taken away so that you realize you will need to get rid of something. And what is that? That is how now the South Node comes in. The effect of South Node in this eclipse. What do I have to take in? Okay, this person is charming. People laugh when they're around, good company. But what about the performance? 0, none, no sales, blah, blah, Then the realization now comes in as in the diplomatic way, whereby now I'm telling you the mental and which is emotional part, there will be a shift. And the shift will go like, okay, as much as I like you, and you make everybody laugh here, you have that warm hospitality in you, but your performance is not good. So for that, ciao bella sorella, the way Italians say, goodbye sister. You'll have to leave. You'll have to leave. That's how it functions. Because it's one way or the other, the clarity will have to kick in. South Node is very much strong, so it has that magnetic pull. Like, get rid. Like when you go to the toilet, for example, and you have that urge to drop that cargo, what happens? You can't hold it, especially like you will hold it, but when it comes with full force, you let it go. And that's exactly what South Node is doing, because North Node, Rahu, the head of the dragon, has already given everything you have swallowed, digested, and everything. But South Node now, it's using all the gravitational pull to take out the nature structure of it to excrete what is not needed. And that's why South Node is also as far as the tail of the dragon and takes out everything. Ketu. It will pull, whether you like it or not. Whatever has to be eliminated, even if you love it so much, it will have to go. Reference to the verses yesterday I posted at night. I was asleep, almost sleeping, and then I woke up and we saw the Surah Al-Kahf, and I told somebody, stop giving your ex a hard time, because somebody is about to face this, and this group which is of bullies also, and we got the answer was elimination. Somebody will be eliminated. There's no karma in it. It's because of what they have done. That's exactly what is about to happen here. And I will show you also examples, like in real life, how these celestial events, how the coordination will push people out. I remember I did tell you the stories, many stories. I lost a friend, and I also said the initiation which was done this time with the star that was very strong. It's all about the kingdoms and everything, and it can eliminate up to 6 heads. And that is where now the Vindimiatrix comes in. It's in the 6th house, so it demands 6 heads that don't work. It goes in the bunches of 6, 6, 6. So for example, deaths are happening. You'll hear ta ta ta. I know this one. I don't know this one. When you combine the number, the count, 6 people you know have gone. That's how dangerous this solar eclipse is. On the darker side of it, it's all about elimination, and it's true now. It's more. It has a lot of power in it, because the 6th house is just next where the Newmoon is, and remember, 10 degree is still with the first decan. Every zodiac has 3 decans, and where it rules the mind, the body, and the soul. 10 degrees, the first 10 degrees is all about the mind. Then comes the body from 11 to 20, for example, to 20, and then it goes on to the soul. The 3rd decan always rules the soul. So we are in the first decan where it's 10 degree, and we are stuck there between mind and body, and that is where we have that mental and the body emotional. It's all emotion still, but we're still, let's stick with the first decan. It means we are all, it's all mental. We have to digest, we have to analyze, we have to make decisions. Otherwise, our body, which is not only this body, physical, but our body, our life structure is going to be affected if we fail to make the right decision in the first decan. That's how it functions. So by any means, the pull of the South Node will get rid of something in your life, even if you love it so much. And this solar eclipse will help it enhance this, And the strength of this Vindimiatrix fixed star, it will just pull everything, and that's how the loss comes in. But on the other side, this is very good. Ask me why. For example, you have no, it's like you're trying to get rid of something. It's impossible. You don't know how you're going to get rid of it. With this celestial event, pray. Miracles will happen. Pray, because this, even when you're not a believer, something that has been stuck on you will be automatically eliminated, removed from your system. So you have a hurdle on your life. Somebody or something is just being a blockage. And there may be a very strong, powerful bully, for example, or something very, very chronic. But you are on the right side because your scales are balanced. Then by default, that thing will be eliminated through these three aspects. The help of the Vindimiatrix from the 6th house, the solar eclipse, and the pull of the south node. So these three are coming like together like this, like a triangle, and they activate something which will be giving it to the south node, and it will be eliminated. As we know, solar eclipse is all about elimination. All right, so if you look at the conjunction that I spoke about, the sun, the moon, and Mercury. When you look at the sun, as I said, it's the source. The moon, this is also affecting the parents. The sun is the father. The moon is the mother. Mercury means communication. Mercury rules our mind. And it is one of the planets that takes the quickest cycle, spin in the universe to finish its cycle. 88 days, and Mercury has finished the entire cycle around the sun. That's how fast it goes. So it's quick thinking. That's why the mental part of us is going to be very affected, which will trigger the emotional. So what happens here? The sun and the moon, then comes Mercury. So it can be the mindset of a culture between a mother and a father. Why am I saying a culture? Because with this kind of conjunction, whatever is about to be triggered, it's something that will bring, for example, emotions. We talk about that again. Communication. So we have maybe culture clash. We already see that here. We have a lot of Shia Sunni culture clash. We have the Christians with Catholic and Orthodox and the Evangelisch and so on. We have the Sikh and I don't know, whatever, when the Hindus and so on and so forth. It always happens like that. We also have like major, like rebellion. We have the Islamic side and the Jewish side, or the Christian side. The Islamists trying to rise up in countries where they're Christian rule. So these clashes are coming in. But with this conjunction, the main source where solution can be found is talking, communication. And that comes through what? The conjunction of Mercury with the sun, the boss. The sun rules also the heads of the state, the kings, people who are in power, or anyone who is in the authority of giving the decision. So father figures, for example, even at home, maybe you have conflicts. Someone is more modern, the family is more religious, and you can't see eye to eye. So this is the time with this conjunction, you can take advantage of it. Maybe you can sit and talk. A solution will come. Diplomatic ties. Right now, as I say, we are seeing where there's a lot of fight. Sorry, guys. There's a lot of fights going on, bombing and this and that. With this type of conjunction, and with the help of this celestial body, you can use this eclipse to your advantage, as in for diplomatic ties. Meaning, you can sit and have a conversation or use a mediator, because Mercury rules also short distance. So what does it mean? Mercury also not only short distance, but also gatekeepers. So you can use people who can talk on this side, talk on this side and come in and build a lasting solution. The only thing is there will be the feministic side, which is going to be extremely mischievous. I'm going to be honest with you, because this conjunction, we have moon conjuncting the sun at 0.09. So it's still very immature energy. It's still more like a baby type of energy. So can you sit with, like, for example, a young baby or a toddler and make diplomatic decisions? Of course not. So the female side, it's going to be a little bit tricky for them. It's because it has not, the energy has not even matured to one or half to fifth, like 15 minutes or 1 degree. That triggers everything. But when it is at a very young energy, let's say 0.09 minute, it's going to be like you're a wise person, like a father figure, the boss, and you're trying to find a major solution, for example, for your company, maybe with someone who has a very little experience, but they're very vocal or they're very well known, because the moon has light, it can be seen everywhere. But when it comes to the diplomatic side, it's not well enough to sit and make decisions. And I'm not here to insult anybody, I'm just giving an example. It can happen in anything. The same thing maybe with a cause. You want to do a cause, look at the bigger picture. Who is this trainer? Maybe I want to see the trainer who's doing this. They don't have experience, okay. Or this product, I want to see this product. It doesn't give me a lot of information, but it's very, like common and everybody's talking about it. But the information I personally need, I can't find it here, and there is nobody to give it to me. Such kind of thing. It's like you want to have more insight, but there will be nobody to give you that insight. And the reason why, because the moon always reflects the energy from the sun. So if you are in a leadership position, this is the time you're going to catch. If you have like workers or people who you have been training, you're going to find out that some of them are dunderheads. They were just there warming the seats, or these people have just been here in large numbers, but they bring nothing on the table. It's like monkey see, monkey do. The only thing they do is copy. And it will not only be on the female side, this will it's an aspect that is also now going to affect all other genders. For example, if it's a twerk, as I've given you example, you're wondering like, so if I don't do anything, I'm a boss, I go silent, nobody comes up with any idea or any project. Nobody comes up with any solution. So I have to initiate something, then I have to find a solution, then I have to do the whole donkey work myself. Do I need this group then? No, you don't need it. Why? Because they're just like a pressure group. That is why that's what we're going to find with this conjunction. It's going to help you make solutions that will make sense to you. Very diplomatic. Like, I need this. It's fun to be in a team, yeah. But my team doesn't bring any production here. I'm doing all the job. They're just there to cheer up. Do I need the cheering up, or do I need more workforce or main brainstorming for us to be diverse? So that is what you're going to find when the sun and the moon conjunct. This is what is going to happen. The same thing is like a man who is going to find a spouse, for example. Maybe you have been loving this person. They're beautiful from outside because the moon, it shines in this and that. And it doesn't matter. It's not only female. It can affect the man as well. It can be vice versa. Maybe you're a woman. You have seen this man. He looks all hot and all that. But when you look at the bigger picture, okay, I do everything myself. This person doesn't bring me anything. He is just maybe romantic. But apart from that, I don't see myself growing here. Do I need this? And maybe on the other side, there's someone who is very ordinary, but they have a bigger picture. Maybe this person is a mover and a shaker. He's doing this or doing that. She's doing this and doing that. So this is the time you're going to be sitting and making sound decisions. With Mercury, your brain thinking, and that's where the emotion comes in, the mental comes in. You will just not shut your emotion, but you're going to be diplomatic. Like, what do I need? I have to build my future. Will I eat that body, or will I just love that romantic side? But this is a person who can't build anything. If you try even to have a normal conversation, they can't come up with anything better. Maybe you're dealing with someone who only cracks jokes, he makes you laugh and all that, but not all the time we need to laugh. Sometimes people need to discuss important things. You're stuck in a problem and you need backup. Maybe you just need someone to, oh, can you help me? Just, I'm stuck here. Or how should I go about it? And they go like, I don't know. This is the time you're going to make a decision. Like, I don't think I need this kind of people around me. I want someone who will always be available in many ways, that they can satisfy me in many ways. If it's work, I need someone who can multitask. I need someone who can brainstorm. I need someone who's diplomatic. I need a quick thinker, something of that sort. If it's a family dynamic, same thing. I don't think this companion of mine is suitable for me because I'm not growing. This person is pulling me down. Such kind of things will be happening. Pay attention, but it's to your advantage because this is it's like a favor. It's like God, Allah, Elohim, if you follow Bhagwan, is favoring you by giving you insights, what you need to keep and what you need to eliminate. There can be people, maybe they're very productive and very hardworking, but they're very narcissistic at work. They don't consider others. Do you want to keep that? And you can have a team that people who are ready and willing to work with everybody, but they don't have that support. That's when the tables will turn. You're gonna go, I'll go for that group that they're lacking support. It means when you guide them, they'll do the right thing and go very further. Rather than having this person who is a know-how, they have all the know-how, but this person is selfish and narcissistic because they want just to take the limelight and credit for themselves. I don't think I'll need that. So eliminate, and you are the right team on board. Then we have as well the moon also conjuncts the Mercury. Now this is more maturity, 1 degree, 19 minutes. That they're conjuncting. This is where now the moon with Mercury. So this is your dark side, communicating, also making your decision. Maybe you're a narcissist again. I'm going to tackle many topics. Maybe you're a narcissist. And this is the time you're going to reflect, damn, how many people did I hurt? Was it even worth it doing all this? And if you turn around, everybody has walked away. They tolerated you, but this celestial event, the solar eclipse, the South Node activated, they're going just to make these people like break through the chains and just walk away. So since you want to be bossy and a bully and you want to fit in everywhere, and you know nobody likes you, for example, not for a bad way, but maybe you are just a tyrant and people are tired of tolerating you. This is the time, by the time you realize and you turn around, they're gone. It's too late. So you're left with regrets because that dark side, that moon side, because you always wanted to dominate, but those who are willing to tolerate you can't take it anymore. So they're turning around and leaving you behind. And it will be too late because whatever is eliminated, and right now, what is eclipsed, it will never come back. Because it's gone and gone for good. This is like God giving you scissors to cut off and run, run, run. If you have watched that movie, Escape from Sabibo, the time when the gates was open and those people had a chance to free themselves, the way they were running and not looking behind, those Jews who were captured, they never turned behind. They didn't even think my shoe was falling or what was falling. It was all about the freedom. So that's exactly what is happening here. It's like cutting off and we are free. We are not going back. This is the same thing like when it happened, when Moses had the opportunity now to leave Egypt with the slaves, and without even thinking what we are going to carry, where we are going, the faith they had in them was like, Allah will provide for us. God is going to provide for us. We just need that freedom. It's not about wealth. It's not about how am I going to eat now, even though I know I was in a dire situation, but I knew there was always a bread and a glass of water that I will feed on. And now I'm going somewhere in the dark. I don't even know what I'm going to do. That faith is what is going to lead you to the bright place where you'll be safe and sound. So that kind of energy is what we're going to have. The reflection, moon, because the moon gets the light from the sun. That reflection and your mind, your thinking to make the right decision. I think it's about time. I'm dealing with a gold digger who takes everything. Well, this is the time. I'm ready to sign for the divorce. Take your paper and go. Though it's going to be extremely shocking, but you have made the right decision because it's for the best. You are trying to be diplomatic, but at the same time, you are trying to, you are helped. The universe is helping you to eliminate a problem that is hindering you to move forward to your next chapter of your life in many aspects. It can be many things. It can be, for example, I'm not a fan of that, but there are people who believe in that. Like someone has suffered for so long in bed and the doctors go like, you know what, let's pull the plug because we don't see any chance. Let this person just go and rest in peace. And someone is going to make a decision and sign like, okay, let's pull the plug and let the person rest in peace. This is the time that like final decisions, very, very big final decisions that will alter your lives are going to be triggered and you will be forced to make them. Then now when we come to the square, woof, this is now where the drama comes in. Mars, Sun, Mercury, Moon, all of them are squaring one another. This is one hell of a tense square because Mars is all about power. The Sun is leadership. Mercury is all about communication and the Moon is all about your intuition. So everything at once is hit. How are you going to make your decision? I want to keep my leadership, but my ego is eating me up. I need to reflect what is inside me. I don't want to be seen as a loser, but then the tension is building. And Mars goes, no, I will use anything to destroy whoever wants to stop me because I am the boss. Mars and the Sun, I am the boss. But then the Moon is telling you, hey, use your mind, listen to intuition. An eye for an eye will make the whole world blind. We're in a diplomatic aspect, the sign of Libra. Why don't we use Mercury to communicate? Why don't we talk? We will find a solution. There's always a solution in squares. But if you plant any wrong seed in a square, the outcome is always devastating. And that's why I was telling many people, make sure you're not in a square whereby such tension happens. Be in a trine where you're going to be making the right decision and you're manifesting something good. So these are the aspects. I was even telling you, I showed the graph yesterday, the clock, astrological wheel, and the planetary aspects. I sent a video and I told my science team, screenshot, and I told my science team to explain it. And I told you, make sure to avoid the squares. This is the time, the ego, and you want to keep your spot. Avoid such kind of energy, but try to make sure you are always clean and reflect. Swallow your ego, whatever you need to let go. Because where you're going, your faith can take you to places. As I gave you an example, when Moses left, they had nothing. But it's the faith they had, they were liberated and they got everything that they needed. And they were never enslaved again. So such kind of thing, your faith, just have faith and trust where you are trust your intuition, the Moon. Trust your intuition. Because where you're heading, it will be much better as per your what? Karma. But at the same time, also when you do that work, inner work, the self-reflect, and you decide, okay, I am wrong. I'm going to be the bigger person, the Sun, and I'm going to communicate, Mercury, And that's a conjunction now, yeah? And the moon goes like, I will say what I've done in the darker side and sort it out. This conjunction gives you a trine. Self-reflection, communication, and releasing what you don't need. But when you keep on your square because you have the ego, I'm not going to back down. No, I'm the boss. I'm the leader. I know I have power. They don't have money. I can buy them. I can do whatever I want. I can buy my way out and abuse the system to always be on the top and have all the favorable outcome I need. Careful, because that's where now the square comes in. That's where the temptation comes in, the darker side of it, the solar eclipse. Your ego will allow you to eliminate anything that is very competitive to you, but little do you know what you're manifesting is nothing but tension for the rest of your life, or for the rest of 18 years of your life. Then we have another trine also, which is very beautiful. We have Venus in Scorpio. That's my ruler. Venus rules Libra, but also in my personal natal chart, my Venus is in Scorpio. Being a ruler, the first house, it also sits in my second house in Scorpio. So this is very good when it comes to finances, a breakthrough, or whatever you manifest. This is like a rebirth, emerging from the dark world. Because remember, when Scorpio is ruled by Anubis, the underworld, so it goes down, and whatever gives you either death or a rebirth. So when you're on the right track and you know how to play with these aspects well, or you listen to intuition and do the right thing, so you're going, the Venus in Scorpio is going to give you a death. You might feel like you're losing something, but your rebirth or your comeback will be epic, because it's going to resurrect you with all the aspects that you need. All the aspects that you need. Then we have also the Mars, which is in Cancer now. That is where ego sits. And you go like, hell no. You know, if you're a dandy type of woman, no, I'm not going to back down. Such kind of shit will be eating your head, but be the bigger person. Believe me, with this aspect, you can be very far in few years, because Mars in Cancer, that's where the womb is. And when Mars is near the womb, the feministic side, it can manifest an entire kingdom. Yeah, that's an ancient knowledge. Even in Kabbalah, we know that. When you have Mars aspect in Cancer, if you know how to align them and plug them together, this is like putting, like a rocket, and you just light the fire and it goes like, and it just takes off. That's exactly what it is here. So the Mars being in Cancer, it's like activating something inside of you. But which two things can happen? Remember, Cancer, ruled by the moon, it doesn't have its own light. It takes from others. I'm not gonna lie, that's why we see many Cancers here. They like to flaunt with other people's knowledge, credentials, and take credit for it. Why? It's the nature of the moon. It will shine, but not on its own. It has to take light from another source. So this is exactly what happens. But when you have Mars, Mars is trying to make you understand you don't even need to reflect everything. Within you, emerge that phoenix. Rise it up. That fire in you is ignited. But if you don't know how to use it, it will burn you. It will burn you. Because this trine is in water sign. Mars being in water sign, easily. It's like when you have fire and you put water. What happens? Everything goes down. But when you know how to use it properly, it's like you're burning the water. What happened? It boils. And when it boils, it evaporates. So you're going up. You're changing. The matter changes. Matter is anything that occupies space and has weight. So you are changing from liquid to gas. And when you're gas, you are air. When you're air, you are all over. So you are rising. But if you don't know how to use it the right way to manifest your rise, it can be your ending because of your ego. You will think you're safe shining with another person's light, but because Mars is in water sign, you will be taking your own water and burning everything, whereby that fire will just go because you are destroying it yourself. You are not using the energy the right way. Then we still have Saturn in Pisces. This is very important because with whatever is being eliminated, remember, and I will show you what is the connection with the past life. Pisces is the 12th house. It's the sign of escapism also. Saturn is the planet of the ring, the 10th house. We have the moon in 10 degree. What happens here? The thing is, whatever is supposed to come from your past is being restricted. And that's why you will need to be extremely diplomatic for you to receive from your reincarnation, from your ancestors. What are you supposed to receive right now? Because when Saturn sits in Pisces, it restricts that. Like, do you even deserve it? Saturn rules the hierarchy system, the rules and regulation of everything. So if you don't get everything on point, what happens next? You lose it all. Remember, the Hierophant or the devil. The Hierophant has keys. So for you to receive these keys from the 12th house, the Piscean energy, where Saturn right now is sitting and transiting, it will access everything in the hierarchy system. Is this person supposed to receive? Is this person from this lineage? Is this person like that? For example, you are supposed to receive inheritance. Is this from this person from the bloodline? Maybe the lawyers have forged the document. It will tick, 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 tick. Something will happen and everything stops. You will not receive it. And in case you receive it, Saturn will have a funny way of restricting that amount that you are about to receive. You will not get it. It's not yours. So it pulls it away. How? Something will happen because you are being triggered by two elements, the yin-yang, the dark and the light, which means either you follow the Hierophant or you follow the devil's side. And I'm not saying the devil is evil here because we have good devils there as per our team. No, I'm just giving you like practical example. You follow the light, you follow the rule, the hierarchy system of Saturn, whereby the Hierophant comes in. That's where the key are, and you get your past life connections. If there's reincarnation coming in, we have spiritual banks whereby now you can have access. But if you're on the wrong side, you do anything illegal, you will get the key to hell because you're going to have illegal side of it. It's the devil. And this is if you look at the card of the devil, there are people in shackles. And you raise your arm and you're just going to follow what the devil says, which means you are under restrictions in the dark. You will not be able to make decisions for yourself. Whatever you receive will not be productive to you, rather be harmful to you. Because if you look at the devil card also, there's a tail which is burning. The devil is burning a tail of one of those people who are shackled. So it's going to be of damage to you instead of being a blessing. Now, let's talk about Vindimiatrix, a fixed star, very rare. People don't even talk about it so much. And it has a very, very big effect in our lives. Very big effect. It's a fixed star. It sits in the 6th house, in the constellation of Virgo, whereby the Virgin, they call it the Virgin, and it's in the class of G8. It's one of the big ones, very big, and its color is more bright yellow and sits on the right side, because if you look at the stars, you can even Google it, I'm sure you're going to find it, the celestial body of the maiden, the Virgin, you will find it on the right side hand. This is where the fixed star is. Vindimiatrix sits on the right side, the hand of the maiden, on the right side, just on that when you look at the star, we know the structure. Where the hand is, that's where you're going to find it. It's yellow, bright yellow color. More, it goes to bright yellow, falls to creamish color. It's plays in that uh, pH range, the bright yellow to almost creamish colors. And what is the influence of this star? This star has a very strong influence in our intestine, especially the kidneys. Especially the kidneys. It has a very strong diverse effect on the kidneys. It can, and it's very mischievous. Just because it's in the constellation of the Maiden, it doesn't mean it's a very good star. It's more like an instigator. It likes to cause a lot of mischief. So ruling the kidneys, it'll always like to trigger diseases, especially also in women, since it rules the whole intestine. So it likes to cause mischievous stuff in the womb. And the reason is because it sits on a maiden or a virgin. So for example, it likes to always attack people who are sexually active. That's the problem with this star. Because its default nature is virgin. So people who are whenever there is a lot of movement in the abdomen, the intestines and all that, this star gets triggered. It's like, for example, you are a smoker, heavy smoker. You smoke and smoke and smoke and smoke. And then you have someone who is not even a smoker at all. But you keep on, you smoke and blow it. What happened? The person gets irritated and they will attack you, for example. For others, they will walk away and such kind of thing. So this is exactly the nature of this star. For it, it doesn't walk away. It's just very mischievous by nature. It's calm when you don't touch, when you don't trigger it. But when it's triggered, it always causes harm. It doesn't know how to back down. That's the bad part about the Vindimiatrix. It's always fixed at 7 degrees 9 minutes in the constellation of Virgo, where the position is. So, for example, in the Hebrew letter, with this kind of star, where it sits, as I said, it has an influence also. In the Hebrew letter Gimel, for example, in the third tarot, which also represents the Empress. So it has its own effect, be it in the Kabbalah and also in the normal tarot and spirituality. Not only we've talked about the other side, that it can be very like forceful, very vindictive, but this star also can make you extremely rich, because in the Gimel and the vibration in the Hebrew letter and the third deck in the tarot, which is the card of the Empress, it goes with the Gimel. And Gimel in the vibration of the Hebrew alphabet, gematria, people who don't want to go deeper into that, but they know it's abundance. So this kind of stuff can make you so fucking rich if you know how to play around it and respect it in the right way, or you know how to go about it. It can build an empire for you. You don't need to have like a whole kingdom, but just being yourself, you can live in a very lavish way. Like you can afford to pay your bill peacefully. You have more than enough that you need, and it gives you that comfort whereby you feel rich. For others, if you're lucky enough, depending also on the other aspect, like this Spreaker, where your Spreaker is. Spreaker also mostly is located in Libra, for example. And my aspect is very good in my chart, but I know people were always looking. But if you have, for example, a very well aspected sun fixed speaker in your chart, and you have this Vindimiatrix also well aspected and has conjunction, for example, with Jupiter or the sun or also sometimes when it transits with the moon, it can really bring a lot of abundance for you. If it's well triggered in a very good degree, it can really make you rich. But at the same time, as I said, it's one of the most ruthless stars. Apart from what we know, the Eye of the Bull, Aldebaran, or Algol, the all fighters, Vindimiatrix is lethal. It goes for the head. So it likes always to take out kings, leaders, people who like family, for example, a father, a husband, something of that sort. Anything in leadership position, it can eliminate. And this eclipse has triggered this star, even though it's in the 6th house. If you look at the Babylonian chart, we will say that's where it is. The sun, I mean, the moon is there, but right now we know the moon is in Libra. But Babylonian, we say the moon is in Virgo. The real connection between these two is what is the celestial. The eclipse has triggered this. Being in the first decan, 10 degrees, and this star is located at 7 degrees, there's only a gap of 3. And this is, if you look at the chart like properly, you can see they are very close to one another. From the 6th house to the 7th house, this is how it's triggered. This eclipse has triggered this star. Otherwise, it has not. If it was just a normal new moon, it's no big deal. But it is the eclipse. The sun has triggered this star. And the sun, we know, it's all about the leadership, the king. And this star now is here. Unfortunately, I have to say it might eliminate people in leadership. So this can be military generals. It can be at home, a father figure. It triggers separation, whether you like it or not. As long as something doesn't fit you, it will just take it out. For example, when such eclipse happen, like right now, we will expect, and I said the eclipse effect is 6 months. So from now up to 6 months in between, it's always a bad omen for kings. Normally rulers, back then in the ancient time, they will never sign anything when it comes to matters pertaining their in-house issues. For example, it's time, and this I'm talking about the new moon. By the time it reaches, when the moon is already thick, it's okay. But like right now, for the next 3-4 days, it's very cautious. The kings were very cautious. People will not make permanent decisions. They were always advised not to make permanent decisions that are going to be effective. For example, you don't sign a petition, you don't sign a treaty, you don't sign such things. Even though we see the diplomatic sign of Libra, but with this type of energy, with the eclipse, wait at least 4 days when the moon is a little bit thick, not when it's more like a thread because it's new moon. Let it just be visible officially like it's thick. 4 days after the new moon, then the energy is subsided and you can now move on. You want to write a treaty, you want to sign a truce, you want to write inheritance, or you want to make decisions pertaining a country, your family, constitution, then it's okay. But as for now, because of this Vindimiatrix, you'll have to hold your horses. You can't do it. At the same time, this star has another problem. As I said, for female. And that's why I'm a little bit worried when it comes to South America, because this eclipse is very much visible there, apart from the other parts of the world. And the Vindimiatrix, as I say, virgin side, the virgin, the maiden, we can say virgin element of this star is really triggered. And the fact it always affects where the eclipse, for example, takes place, where it's visible, that is where it reacts. It's like it gets triggered. And here we see in South America it's really affected. And what is going to happen there? Normally a lot of illness. I spoke about it ruling kidneys or anything which is intestinal. in the intestine until the womb. And the problem is with this type of degrees and the omen, I'm not here to scare you, but South America, there are going to be a lot of outbreaks of female diseases. So this can be anything to do with wombs. I will say, okay, we are adults, yeah? People love to do very crazy things behind closed doors. If you're a person who you know you like to use the door number 2, for example, I will say avoid this, because here you might find out, you might get a irritation in the intestine or get a disease in the intestine, and the next thing you have to pull it out, or cancer and such things, because female illness will be at its highest rate in the next 6 months, especially in the sides of the Southern America. I'm not here to scare you, but this is the aspect. It's very clear with this stuff, and especially with the degrees. It's very clear. I got these downloads. That's why I went quickly also on the phone, and I was checking, and damn, it's true. And believe me, I told you about the stars, effects, and everything. They go with cycle. I will explain. You remember 18 years. I swear to God, I have never checked the aspect. I know the star was taught intuitively in my Kabbalistic meditation, and also in my dreams when I have my teachers coming. But I've never checked the effect until today. I wanted to make sure, what is this effect of 18 years? And you will not believe what the answer is. Vindimiatrix is one of those triggers that, even though this is not the star that I've talked about, which brings you everything, even though this is one of the aspects, the star which is very rare and hidden, that you can only get this knowledge through Kabbalah, and as I said, it's being passed specifically, not through books or anything, but in 3D, they always know that energy exists, but they can't put a finger on that main star. So the nearest one, which can be similar to that hidden star and that hidden knowledge, is Vindimiatrix. Because it comes in cycles of 18 years, 11 days, and 8 hours. And these cycles are called Saros. Maybe now you know why Saros is strong. Joking. The cycles are called Saros. One cycle of that hidden star that I've told you about, and I can't say about it, but here in 3D, the little knowledge you can get, or something similar, closer, is this Vindimiatrix. And it takes a Saros cycle for the effect to be seen. That's why I said it can make you rich, it can destroy you. It's 18 years, 11 days, 8 hours. Exact effect. Just from this, leave alone that hidden knowledge. That I can't share. It's only for the 5Ds and up there in the matrix. But here in 3D, the visible star that can be almost, it has this, it's being, you know, the knowledge people who try to put it together, it's the Vindimiatrix. That's the effect. It has to go through that cycle. Whatever it hits you with, you will have to live with it. You will have to go through the Saros cycle. 18 years. And that's why I was telling everybody, don't take it lightly. This can build you or destroy you. I told you, it will build empires or destroy you. I swear to God, whether you believe me or not, today was the first time I confirmed this, and that's why I got this information. I knew about the fixed stars of Vindimiatrix because we learned that up there. But to confirm here and put notes, today's the first time. I was like even blown myself. I was like, wow. So whatever they're teaching me, even in my dream state or my guides teach me, this is true. I can find a little knowledge, even though what I learn is more advanced, but whatever I have here, I can share with everybody. It's making sense with what I was telling them. Believe me or not, today was the first time I checked it. So South America, female diseases will be at its highest point. As I said, you will need to have you'll need to protect yourself in every way when it comes to your sexuality, your feminism side, feministic side. If you know you are on the other side of the norm, transgenders and everything, this star will trigger you because you are in a gender that doesn't belong to you. Because this star also triggers, it's more like female. It triggers more, it's maiden, feministic. So let's say you are a man and change yourself to a woman, you're going to find yourself now having complications. And this star is the one which is triggering it because you are like, you left your own body to become something else, and where you are, the star doesn't recognize you there and you can't go back. So you are left in a limbo like this, and this star now is going to throw you something. It can be, don't judge me, I'm just a messenger. It can throw you a disease, complications, and you might even not enjoy that sexuality you chose to prefer to. This can also be to the opposite side. From female, maybe they wanted to have like a banana down there. You're going to have issues and you will never be able to be in that gender that you chose to be from your normal one. The one you have by default, for example, I'm a female, I want to be a male. I'm a male, I want to be a female, for example. The gender you change, you will never be comfortable there. This star will keep on irritating you for a very long time. And God knows what will happen. But diseases are here. Female diseases are going to be very active. This will affect globally. Mostly every female will be affected, as long as you know, because it's all about, this is more of nobility. It's urging people to be in their best form. Virgin Maria, the mother of Nabi Isa, Jesus, what happened was she was a noble woman. She was not engaging herself in anything despite God giving a miracle, and she became pregnant. So this star is more like favoring people who are respecting their sexuality and their body. Like, it has to make you believe your body is something precious. Don't abuse it. Should you go down sleeping here and there, so that is where now you trigger this, and it comes with an eclipse. It will hurt you. It will hurt you. That I guarantee you. On the other side, also, we have the problem with this star. When this star is triggered by any planet at a certain degree, and let's say there is a conjunction there with the sun, it always affects people's mental part of it. So it creates depression, worry, and you'll find yourself even looking to be in solitude because you're trying to go in within to find answers. So any planet which is transiting through this star and is triggered with a conjunction with the sun, definitely you will go through a bout of depression. This is how this planet works, this star. It doesn't matter which planet. So long as there's a transit of a planet and the sun conjuncts there, it just goes for your mental side of you. And so now, talking about Saros, as I said, it's the cycle, which is 18 years, 11 days, and 8 hours. And this cycle always is a type of a cycle whereby when two eclipses happen at maybe at almost the same degree, and for example, the same timings. I'll give you a very good example, because when these two eclipses are separated by a period of one Saros, that is the 18 years, as I said, they share a very similar geometry. And if you know how geometry is important in our life, that's why I always tell you in the matrix, it's numbers and figures, the forms, the geometrical form. If you look at the Jewish side, gematria, that's why they study. There's a lot of knowledge there. And many others. Even in Islamic knowledge, you will see people drawing this falak. When they do falak, they have to use sticks, numbers, and cancel this and cancel that. It's all under gematria. That's the knowledge of gematria. So when this cycle of two eclipses happens, it's a separate period. It always forms this. When you form the similar geometry, then just know. Let's say you are looking at 18 years ago, when this eclipse happened, or what happened triggered this. And then you look at the other side and you find that the date, these degrees are similar, or you know, okay, I can sense this was a Saros cycle. And when you calculate, there will always be a 1 or 2 maybe degree, 3 degree difference, but it's almost similar. That's the geometry is always similar. Then you know that you have a Saros cycle. For example, like in October 2nd, like today, in 1652, we are in 2024 now. 1652, 2nd October, we had the same celestial event. What happened? The moon, it was at, right now we have the eclipse at 10 degree. That time it was 9 degree 57. A difference of only 0.3, 0.0003. But the geometry is the same. So they had a Saros cycle. Back then, if you look at it and if you compare what will happen now, you'll understand what is happening. And that was the first Anglo-Dutch war. It was the Battle of Zeeland. The Battle of Kentish Knock fought in the North Sea, about 30 kilometers from mouth of River Thames. The Dutch were forced to withdraw. The battle took only a week, almost 10 days, because it started on 28th September. Already the influence of the eclipse was on. Until 8th October, the Dutch gave up. North, look at the keywords, North Sea. And right now, where is the node? The eclipse in Libra, the south node is there. Here they were fighting in North Sea. They were in their north node. So which means it's like the nodes were different, but the geometry is the same. They were fighting, but the Dutch had to withdraw. Why? The Dutch were pointed at the south node. They were positioned at the North Sea. They were already positioned. And if you look at 90 degrees, any angle like this, that's what we call 90. That's 90 degrees. And here we have, like when you bisect it, we have 45, right? So they were already positioned in a position where they were supposed to be winning. If you know how to calculate, military people will know that. They were already in a position to win, despite the distance, 30 kilometers. It's the nodes which gave them the strength to win. They were on the northern side, and the fighters had to pull back. Why? It's because of this. The nodes were on their north node, on the northern side, while the other one's on the south node. So they had to let go. They had to withdraw. And this is exactly what is happening with this eclipse. I told you, even when you don't want to, you want to win at all cost, factors will push you. You'll just have to pull out. It's because you're going to lose a lot. And when they withdrew, they got a loss. They lost 2 ships in the battle. Had they moved away earlier, they would have saved the casualties and the losses of the ship. But they were retaliating, only in the end to give up, because there was no way they're going to win. And this is exactly what is happening. When your north node is already on the track and your south node is forcing you to get rid of whatever has to go, one way or the other, even when you're holding on and fighting, you will still lose. And that's why I was trying to tell people, flying monkeys here, and I'm not attacking the monkeys, but you know what flying monkeys means. People who are like more into gaslighting, and you just jump into groups and you make decisions and harm others without you knowing the whole story. Maybe the person you're attacking is already on their alignment with their north node. They're heading to their life purpose. You're sitting here making noise and you're already in the south node. So you're going to find yourself losing even your spot, losing your compass, on your own life purpose? Well, because you're trying to destroy another person, only for you to lose your spot, your life purpose, get displaced, and Vindimiatrix is waiting for you. Clap! With that energy of Saturn in Pisces, restrict you for the next 18 years. So only thing you get, even your ancestors, is just whoop, whoop, whoop. You're just being beaten for 18 years and you can't find your way out. But if you are being attacked back to back, but you just keep on focusing, minding your own business, either way, there will be help. The universe steps in and pulls everything back like a magnet. Whoever is not supposed to be there, they will be eliminated and taken away. This is also another part of the star that I'm going to tell you. And it's also not a good aspect. But for men, the effect of this star, how will it affect you? It's, as I said, it triggers mischievous behavior. So you're going to find out, for example, if you have a cheating spouse, partner, be it in business or anything, whatever secrets that were negative, they will be surfacing. So mostly this star also has effect in partnership. For female, when this star is activated, Vindimiatrix, it will always cause whatever mischief you have, it's coming to surface. Any bad vice, it will come to surface. But at the same time, for the male part now, the effect which hits the male, it's death. For example, this star has a very notorious energy of creating widows. Virgin Mary, solitude. It is very notorious in eliminating men from families. And especially with this, I will say, be very careful, because it has a tendency of taking the head of the family, men especially. And especially now you see the solar eclipse and new moon, which means elimination of the leader, and then there will be a new beginning. So your new beginning now will depend on your Saros cycle. And your Saros cycle depend on your what? Karma. How are you going to survive these 18 years? It's all based on what you have accumulated. As I said, while you're shining, like the way I explained, or you're taking people's work and you have been benefiting, then this door is shutting. You might think you are sorted, but it will be a miracle. You're going to see a door shutting and you're left in the dark. And you have no way out. Because while people are preparing to redeem themselves, be diplomatic, and even communicate to find a solution, you are in your ego thinking you are sorted. So this is going to teach you a lesson, and all the doors are going to be locked. For others, as I've said, it's not all men that is going to affect, no. Depending on your planetary aspect, and so many factors also, environment, even the relationship in your family. But it is what it is. Effect of this star has this notorious habit. Vindimiatrix has a habit of killing. And I think I even said it when we did the initiation. If you know you're on the wrong side, this star can kill. And if you know you're on the right side, this star is an empress. It can bless you to the core. So either way, it's very, very restrictive and very good at the same time. The fact that it's in the sign of Virgos, I'm going to be honest, if you are a Virgo sun sign, this celestial event will affect you a lot. Be extremely careful. And also, people who are ruled by Mercury. Virgo, of course, yeah, and Gemini, water signs, because of the emotions, you will need to be extremely careful, because this star can destroy you easily in your house, because it has already been triggered. And if you're a sun sign Virgo, I will say please be extremely careful. And this will affect Gemini, the ruler, people who are ruled by Mercury. You'll need to be extremely very careful. Then you are also going to see that this conjunction with this star, Vindimiatrix, and then there is a moon conjunct and the sun. There will be laws through law. So we can have lawmakers who are going to play dirty, and you might find someone has lost a case. It's because based on theft, or for example, copyright infringement. I'm suing someone because of copyright. They will favor the other person who is wrong, but this is a lesson now. They might favor the wrong person, and by the time they come to realize the effect, all of them are going to go down. So it's very tricky also for people who are in decision making, and especially the fact that the eclipse is taking place in Libra, the sign of justice. You'll need to be extremely diplomatic here when you're making decisions. So if you're a judge, you will need to make sure the truth is the truth and nothing but the truth. Because when you make the wrong decision, this star can eliminate you. So you can solve a case. It won't take long. We hear the judge is dead. Maybe a police has caught someone who's wrong. You hear that they are gone. It eliminates you. It will purposely even misguide you to make the wrong decision, because it will test you here. It will test your mind. It will test your mental capacity for diplomacy with the solar eclipse. Should you fail to make the right decision, the same star will trigger to take you out. It will wait until you do the final decision, and then it takes you out. Elimination. That's the bad thing about this star. So I think that's more than enough. 1 hour 21 minutes. It's been a while I've not been recording this, and I know many people were really enjoying me talking about this hidden ancient infos and fixed stars. Well, I will see. I'm trying to get myself to get my work together. I've been trusting the wrong people who have been taking my light and shining. It's about time now I create my own platform and have access to the community, because as you see right now, this video is being posted, but it will be edited and given to somebody else, and they're uploading it elsewhere, and I don't see anything. People take credit of my work, but I'm not accessing the community. So now my calling, and that's why I need to make this diplomatic decision, my calling now is to focus on my North Node. And it's not about who is there, it's about who is coming with me. The thing is, I have to step in my leadership position. I cannot allow somebody to keep taking my work, air it, pocket everything, while they censor me. This is now what is about to happen. I have to be very diplomatic in my decision making. I don't mind taking the loss, whatever they've hidden and they don't want to give it to me. I can start a platform from zero. A whole new platform from zero. Build it myself. Whoever shadow bans, I don't need to do anything, because this is why everything was delayed. This is what I was waiting for. Divine intervention and divine justice. Let the Vindimiatrix talk. Whether I was doing the right thing and I was betrayed or whatever. No mama, no papa has right, or father, to take any work now to do it. I have to step in my own way and stand and walk on my path. Then whoever comes behind me will come with me. But it's time for me to access the community directly. Whoever needs the healing needs to get the healing directly from me, and not their manipulative tactics, because this is what is about to happen. Those who are shining using my work, the light is about to be dimmed and the door is going to be closed. For them, 18 years of misery. Because despite me telling them, can you give me back what is mine? They don't want to. So I don't mind starting from zero, building something all new. But I know As long as I follow the principle and do the right thing, the one who gave me those gifts and this life purpose will help me break through. Despite I know even when I write my project, there are thousands of waiting to steal it. It's okay. For me, I'll just stick by the book. Whether I'm betrayed or not, I don't need to say anything. The stars are aligned and justice will prevail. Whether they're going to be eliminated, the ones who are going to be bonkers, mental, because playing with the crown chakra, with this star, it's just going to lock you in a labyrinth. So mental conflict will come, and the next thing sinks you into the bout of depression, and you'll just throw yourself in solitude, because blocking somebody's life purpose, the South Node is going to pull you out, whether you like it or not. Being a hurdle, I will say don't even try it as a joke. Why do you think I pulled out from those groups of like the comic mama who was even on my birthday trying to hurt me? Despite it was a group of fools with a lot of stupidity out of jealousy. Sit back and watch all of them, how their life is about to be changed. 18 years of misery, and don't be surprised if you hear some of them passing away. And I'm so serious. I've explained the stars for you. The aspect is so well aligned that it's ready to take out so many people. And that's what is about to happen. So I wish you all the best. And for the Jewish community, tomorrow, hopefully, I will give you the annual insight as usual at how I do it, reading about Rosh Hashanah and how main holidays in the Jewish calendar, and a small reading about it. So we'll have like a focused, a spiritual focused of the whole Rosh Hashanah for the new year. I wish you all the best, and until then, goodbye.